maganda yung naging actuation, yung action ng nasa task force ay ibig sabihin hindi fund na natin kagadagan.
Yes, because it's an institutionalized program, Rod. If you try to see it another way, it's like kunyari, let's pick any department. Let's say DSWD, no? DSWD. Pag ayaw mo yung secretary ng DSWD or ayaw mo yung ginagawa niya or may mali siya, do we say scrap the DSWD? Of course not. Because it is a program that is benefiting a lot of people. So in Congress, we reserve the right to oversight, the right of oversight on government and its projects. And I think a good solution here, since there has been an exchange of words and hurt feelings and all, then both parties have to come together for a dialogue. The stakeholders sa ELCAC and then those involved in the congressional committees are responsible for the funding. Then let's see how the program is being used. But I do know for a fact, Rod, that it has helped people. I even have inunahan kita, Rod, because I want really people to know na how good it is. So I really asked for the numbers in terms of how many benefited from the program. So ilan ba ang nagbalik loob in from 2016 to 2021? There have been a total of 14,721. In 2020, yung mga rebel returnees. Kasi ang kalaban naman palagi natin is people are recruited thinking that armed conflict is their only chance at a better life, which isn't the case, because we all want the same thing. We all want development to happen, but are the opportunities available for all? Not always, kasi yung ibang mga barangay walang roads, walang healthcare. Oo.
This is communism, insurgency is a social issue. Address the social problems, then you resolve the problem of insurgency.
Yes.
Parang nakikita natin and na-appreciate natin yung fund na sinasabi mo, 20 million. Imagine barangays having no roads at all.
Yes.
Walang mainom na tubig na pagkukunan ng pwedeng inumin na tubig and then suddenly meron. I-defund na lang natin kasi naging bastos yung spokesperson. I-defund na lang natin kasi naging parang alisin na nila yung red tagging, parang hindi naman tama. So as you said, yung figures na sinasabi mo, 14,000, what year was that? Torres?
This is from 2016 to 2021. Yung mga rebel returnees, 14,721.
Okay. Buong Pilipinas yan.
Yes, and that translates to, that's just the number of rebel returnees. You multiply that by members of their family. So that's how much it has impacted. And more than that, the deepest, darkest barangays up in the mountainside, sila yung pinaka-vulnerable for armed conflict kasi sila yung madaling ma-recruit. So the government is on the side of the people. The government doesn't want war, but any vulnerable community, the elements will go there and say, sumama ka na sa amin, pinabayaan ka ng gobyerno. So why will you go against a program that is actually addressing that?
Alright. Now, moving forward, yung problema kasi dito parang yung mga tao sa NTF, ELCAC, there's something wrong with these people. Kaya naapektuhan yung pangalan at yung noble intention ng programang ito. So, moving forward, sabi mo nga, nasa Congress yung oversight, na ipatawag yun na ba yung mga tao dito sa NTF out? More than na pagsabihan lang, meron na bang call para alisin yung mga masasamang elemento dito para at least hindi masisira yung sinasabi na natin napakagandang adikain at beginning ng programang ito.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time, Rod. I'm sure you've also heard that a lot of legislators have been calling for the officials, who have wronged the people and the establishment by way of how they communicated I think it's really a messaging problem, and because na any position is a position of responsibility and accountability, I am all for having the officials held accountable, no? But like I said, that should not be at the expense of a program that has actually worked well for the government. And like I said, Rod, the numbers naman will show, the facts will show, yes.
Ilang taon na natin na pinupunduhan ito? If you won't mind, Congressman Torres.
This is, I think the fight kasi it's very much also, I'm sure it's always been in our Rod, no? Except that it's the leadership kasi sometimes it becomes more intensified depending on the priorities of the leadership. But what the message really that I want to share, no, is that government is on the side of the people, and just because it is not perfect all the time, it does not mean that it does not want to work for the people. It's so hard being an elected official nowadays. It's doubly hard because we have this pandemic that we are fighting. I think mga 2018 talaga to na-fund yung barangay, Rod, 2018. There have been efforts in the past administrations, but I think it's really been put in the GAA for it to be a sustained effort since 2018.
Kaya naman pala yung mayor namin dito, si Mayor Torres sa lungsod ng Iloilo, ayaw ng defunding ng NTF ELCAC. Kasi sabi na niya, malaking pera mawawala sa barangay.
Yes.
It's in place already. So, and of course, this is the city of Iloilo. While Iloilo province, medyo red yung category kung insurgency pag-uusapan natin in some parts of the province of Iloilo. Iba in other parts of the country na medyo mainit-init pa yung usapin ng insurgency. And yung pagpasok ng pondo ng gobyerno, lalong-lalo na yung paggawa natin ng mga road projects, malaking tulong to at implication sa peace and order campaign natin.
Yes.
And maipa-feel natin sa taong bayan na the government is working for you.
Yes.
There is the government.
The government is on the side of the people. On the side of the people. And I'd like to, because you mentioned Mayor Treñas, no? Matagal ko yan nakasama sa Kongreso. He is a brilliant public servant, and Iloilo is very lucky to have somebody as devoted and as dedicated as Mayor Jerry working for you.
All right. On the other hand, nakita ko rin kanina, I was reading some backgrounders as to this statement of yours sa NTF ELCAC. Passionate ka din sa anti-terrorism bill.
Yes. It's closely...
Wala sa ganda mo, wala sa beauty mo, wala sa... Very fragile yung mukha mo ngayon. Tinitingnan ko, pero parang lahat ng issue of involvement mo, parang anti-insurgency, anti-terrorism. Ang tapang mo yata, Congressman Torres.
People kasi think, that I'm just speaking from a position of privilege just because I just know I don't know the real picture, and that I am naive to say that that there should be an anti-terror law, but they really should. Hindi nila alam yung revolutionary tax, hindi nila alam na pag nagbigay ng revolutionary tax yung iba, pag gusto ng taasan ng mga terorista, pag hindi nagbigay, susunugin yung mga kalabaw, papatayin yung kanilang mga farmhands. So it's like a war. It's like a war that keeps on simmering, and the only way to fight that really is with development. We do not want to be a nation at war always, and we are all Filipinos. Bakit tayo yung maglaban-laban sa isa't isa, no? So, I do understand that they probably feel that it's not as important because they have not experienced a life like this in the province. Kami Rod, dito buong buhay namin. Ganito from the time I was a toddler, I already knew that there was danger in the farm. I knew that terrorists were around. I knew that revolutionary taxes were being asked of every planter in the city. It was conversation that I heard every day over mealtime. So it's a real problem, and it's a problem that continues to this day.
Alright, may banal na konti, Congresswoman Lucy. Isa sa mga naging mitsa ng problema ng NTF ELCAC, yung issue ng red tagging.
Yes.
May I know from your perspective kung ano yung pananaw mo sa red tagging?
That is why in the anti-terror bill law, that is why there are very strict penalties, no, for those who are responsible for red tagging. Kasi every time naman you make a law, it has to be balanced. I cannot speak for the AFP, no, yung mga nagsabi ng gano'n, but at best I'd say na they are, alam mo yung ano, Rod, yung iba yung perspective nila, because their task is to keep the community safe, and they are asked to see the signs, to really see if totoo ba may red tagging or not. I think ang naging mali lang dito is on a suspicion pa lang, or haka-haka pa lang, parang hinatulan mo na baka I mean, you know how words can hurt. That's why I say accountability is very important. It's the anti-terror law provides a process for red tagging. It's not a loose process lang na pwede mong sabihin. That's why we have to be responsible for our words, Lord, because words can really hurt. Yes, that's why we have to be very careful.
Yan ang gusto ko sa sinabi mo na accountability. Kasi people are afraid that nagagamit to the disadvantage ng government yung may noble intention ng mga legislations like this anti-terror bill, legislation law, and then now this NTF ELCAC, nagagamit against them.
Yes.
Because of this people na reckless sa kanilang mga pinagagawa at pinagsasabi. Sabi mo nga, pag nasabi mo na words can hurt, and mahirap na bawiin yan. Now, kung gagamitin yan sa propaganda, yun, dali ka dun.
Oo, so, kahit na nag-sorry na, di ba? Kahit kung kunyari nag-sorry na, pwede pang mga anak, and that's why, yes, that's why it's very important to be mindful of what you say and to be mindful of the facts. I think it's a lesson for all. I think it's just very important to know our whys, no? We can agree or disagree on any issue, but it's important to maintain a level of respect so that we can hear both sides of the story, because there are always two sides to every story, no? And having said that, Rod, we are in the middle of a pandemic. We are all on the same boat, and we all have to keep afloat. So there are so many programs na lumalabas, and we do not have to choose between two good programs that are actually good. I'm talking about community pantries on one hand and the ELCAC on the other hand. They can both coexist. Hindi naman kailangan na mamili tayo if pareho namang maganda. I think the community pantries speak of how we as a people are innately good. May bayanihan spirit talaga. But we also have a responsibility to keep our community safe. We have to provide opportunities for barangays to prosper, and the development cannot be centered just in Metro Manila. Matagal na natin naririnig na development has to be branched out to the countryside para hindi lang yung the grass is always greener in the big cities. It's beautiful in the countryside. But for it to be beautiful and for progress to reach the countryside, we really have to maintain peace and order.